Hello, this is CBC Windsor News. I'm Acton Clarkin. We've been tracking a trial involving a former local school board employee. It wrapped up earlier this year, and now a judge has made their decision. Our Jason Vio was in the courtroom earlier.
With time, the truth will always come to light.
Not guilty on all 6 sexual-related charges in the Superior Court of Justice. That's what Michael Hamden Carter learned Wednesday morning, an end to this 4-year process. The 39-year-old faced 3 charges of sexual assault and 3 counts of sexual exploitation dating back to January 2022. Those allegations come from 3 female teenage students of his when he worked at the Greater Essex County District School Board, not as a teacher, but still an authority figure who oversaw upwards of 25 students at times. Justice Brian Doobie spent 2 hours providing his decision. He pointed to troubling inconsistencies from the female complainants and said one of them was vindictive during their testimony. But the judge also rejected Hamden Carter's own testimony when he was questioned during the trial in his own defense. Doobie even went as far as saying it was highly risky and wholly inappropriate that Hamden Carter gave students a ride home, communicated with them on social media, and shared sexual-related stories with them. I specifically asked Hamden Carter about that after court, and while he started to answer, you'll notice a good friend interrupts to give his thoughts as well. Have a listen.
He doesn't understand being an athlete or being someone that you're training athletes, right? A lot. What?
Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me take this so you
Go
can
ahead.
hear me.
Yeah.
So I'm a coach, and I coach kids, and I give them rides, and I'm always trying to help kids. I think the main thing is Mike was trying to help someone. If he did not know that person, he wouldn't have helped them. We've always been those kind of people. Michael is my shadow. Whatever you see in Michael, that is me. That is a reflection is me.
Now, central to this trial was when Hamden Carter gave 2 female students a ride home. The judge pointed to some inconsistencies, which he said raises issues about credibility. One teen said there were 2 car rides, while the other said it only happened once. One said his shirt was off when he got in the back seat, while the other said it was on. Hamden Carter said he never got in the back seat, and a neighbor who approached the vehicle that day said she saw only 2 people in the back seat, both fully clothed, and the male closest to the window. Because of these inconsistencies and many others, the judge said the Crown's case falls short of proving beyond a reasonable doubt that Hamden Carter committed the offenses he was charged with. Jason Vio, CBC News, Windsor.
It's T-minus 18 days until the end of spring. Gordie Howe Bridge officials have been promising the new border crossing will be open before the season ends. As Chris Ensing explains, there's renewed pressure to follow through.
Summer is just around the corner, giving the Gordie Howe Bridge a few weeks to hit the latest stated opening window. This week, American lawmakers heard border agents on the U.S. side are ready to go.
Is DHS and specifically CBP prepared right now to facilitate trade and travel at the bridge?
Yes, we are. Once again, we have the personnel dedicated, ready to move. The contractor hasn't signed off on final stuff. He had a deadline the 1st of May. Once that's done, there's still negotiations between Canada and the United States. That's not within DHS. That has to be resolved.
So what's holding up the opening? The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority says it's awaiting results of systems testing. The Gordie Howe Bridge is now delayed by 2 years from its original opening date. It's more than $500 million over budget. Earlier delays and extra costs were blamed on the pandemic, but now the opening has become political. In February, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to block the bridge opening until, quote, Canada treats the United States with the fairness and respect that we deserve. A threat that comes nearly a decade after promising to fast-track the project during his first term. Canada's paying for the bridge built with North American supplies. All tolls will be collected by Canada to cover the bill, then split with Michigan. Last month, a Canadian cabinet minister tied the bridge's opening with ongoing cross-border negotiations before walking back those claims to say all that's in the way is quality testing and system reviews. Windsor West Conservative MP Harb Gill says he raised the delay in a recent meeting with the American ambassador to Canada. Gill says Pete Hoekstra replied with comments about trade irritants, like Ontario's ban on American alcohol. I asked Gill if that's part of what's holding up the bridge opening.
Not directly, but the sense I got was that this is a part of the overall negotiations part. So if those negotiations are what need to happen, then why is our Liberal government, what are they waiting for?
We didn't get an immediate response to U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Mullen's comments from Transport Canada or the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority. A year ago, the opening was slated for November, then the end of fall, then early 2026. The latest public information is end of spring, June 21st. Chris Ensing, CBC News, Windsor.
I'm a 90s kid. Growing up, I remember loving going to department stores with my parents. They seem so, I guess, grand, so much to explore. We're talking the Bay, Zellers, Walmart. We've all seen some of those stores fade away across the country, but now one is coming back to Windsor. Dawson Chen has the details.
Tecumseh Mall will soon be getting another retailer, and it's a company name deep in the memories of many Canadians. Zellers has announced its revival plans include a new store at the mall, tentatively set to open sometime in July. That's a blast from the past for Tecumseh Mall customers.
I think it's great. It'll bring people to the mall. It brings the attraction. I'm surprised it came here and not Devonshire where they have the space, you know?
I think it's cool. I mean, like, I haven't been to Zellers in a long time, probably like 13 years or whatever. I probably was little if I came there, but I think it's cool. We'll have something new.
I'm really excited. It's been, 13 years? I was 13 years old when they closed, and it's going to be really nostalgic, and I'm really excited to see Tecumseh Mall coming back and getting a big store like that.
The Zellers location at Tecumseh Mall closed in 2013. The brand is being revamped under new ownership. Zellers 3.0, as the new owners call it, launched a store at an Edmonton mall last fall. The coming East Windsor location will be part of the company's return to Ontario. According to current Zellers Chief Operating Officer Joey Beneteau, Windsor was a very natural fit for this next chapter of Zellers' expansion due to the brand's history in the community. But Zellers 3.0 won't be the large department stores customers remember. The new locations will be smaller and more curated, with retail offerings focused on apparel, home accessories, toys, snacks, and seasonal items. Ryan Donnelly, president of the Windsor-Essex Chamber of Commerce, says he's not surprised by the announcement, despite the location being in a competitive area with Giant Tiger, Michaels, and Walmart nearby, along with construction underway on a new Costco.
I am certain that they have done their research and recognize that there is a good financial opportunity for them to fit into where the market fits for them. You could argue also that a rising tide lifts all ships. Customers want to have preference and choice. I think having a robust, broad, diverse offerings of retailers is a positive move for Windsor-Essex.
One nostalgic aspect of Zellers the company is assured is returning is Zeddy, the store's plush toy bear mascot. Dawson Chen, CBC News, Windsor.
The head of the World Health Organization says there are now 359 confirmed cases of Ebola in Central Africa, 61 deaths as well. But he says the number of suspected cases has dropped dramatically, down from more than 1,000 last week to just 116.
The outbreak had a big head start, and we're still behind, but under the leadership of the government of DRC, we're catching up.
The WHO chief just returned from a trip to the Democratic Republic of Congo. He says tens of millions of dollars are needed to help stop the outbreak. On his list, funding to ramp up testing, contact tracing, and to combat community mistrust in some areas that Ebola is a real threat. He's also calling for an end to blanket travel restrictions in certain African regions because they're disrupting the delivery of much-needed medical supplies. Here at home, the federal government brought in travel restrictions late last month. Now, with Windsor being a border city, there's a local impact. Check out what I learned. Here's how new Ebola outbreak travel rules are affecting people coming into Canada from the U.S. at Windsor border crossings, over the Ambassador Bridge, or through the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel. Number one, at the border. Travelers have to tell Canadian border officers if they've been in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, or South Sudan within the past 21 days. Ebola outbreaks are centralized there. If they have, they must isolate in Canada for 3 weeks. Stopping in the U.S. first does not exempt them from the rules. The CBSA says border officers are trained to detect disease symptoms, and at Windsor's crossings, the government says specialized quarantine officers are virtually stationed there to help. Number two, isolation locations. If someone must isolate but can't at home away from others, the Public Health Agency of Canada says it will give them a room at a designated hotel in Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Calgary, or Vancouver, not in Windsor. the government will also set up transportation. And number 3, symptoms. If someone shows signs of Ebola, they have to isolate at a medical facility. As for where that would be, the local Windsor-Essex County Health Unit won't say, except that it will work with the Provincial Ministry of Health to get the person treatment. With summer coming up quick, education unions are preparing to start bargaining. Contracts for teachers and other workers expire in August. As Lorenda Redekop tells us, all sides are anticipating tough talks.
A show of force. 5 education unions supported by other unions. Ahead of bargaining they expect will be tough.
We cannot wait for solutions. The situation is dire.
He says elementary school teachers he represents want smaller class sizes, safer working conditions, more supports for special education, and higher wages. The unions had asked to bargain months ago. That didn't happen.
I personally don't think the timing is the problem. I think the willingness to find satisfactory results is potentially the problem that we are going to have to deal with.
The workers, united, will never be defeated.
Another union, CUPE's Ontario School Board Council of Unions, walked off the job for 2 days 4 years ago. Their leaders' thoughts on 3 months of bargaining?
If this government is serious about getting a deal, that's sufficient time. If you're asking about the need or the necessity or the likelihood of potential job action, I can tell you 57,000 CUPE education workers showed the government in 2022, and we're ready for this round.
Those tense days in 2022 followed the Ford government using the notwithstanding clause to impose a contract on those workers and outlaw strikes. Here's how the education minister sees things.
I think one of the hallmarks of our time in office has been relative peace with our teachers' unions and with the unions representing education workers.
No whips, no butts, no education cuts.
All the teachers' unions also went on strike in 2020, that too under the Ford government. The minister seemingly trying to keep the temperature down ahead of the talks.
Union leaders have a job to do, right? And I get it. They want the absolute best deal for the people that they represent, and they're going to fight very, very hard for that. I want the same thing for teachers. I want the absolute best for teachers, and I want a fair deal for taxpayers, and I think we're going to get there.
The minister says he expects these negotiations will be tough, but says that's always the case. He says he's remaining positive that they will be able to avoid any strikes or disruptions to the school year in fall. As for when exactly they will start, it'll be 15 days or less. One of the union leaders said she'd be ready to start tomorrow. Lorenda Redekop, CBC News, Toronto.
There's been a ceremony in Ottawa to bid farewell and say thank you to outgoing Governor General Mary Simon. She is Canada's first Indigenous person to serve in that role. Senators, MPs, and the Prime Minister attended an event to mark the end of her term in office.
The rights of more than 1 million Indigenous peoples are protected in Canada's Constitution, in large part because of Mary Simon's leadership in the negotiations that entrenched Aboriginal and treaty rights.
Simon was appointed as Governor General in 2021. She was well known for her work on Arctic and Indigenous issues before she took on the role. Simon's successor, retired Supreme Court Justice Louise Arbour, will take on the role next week. And we'll bring you special CBC News live coverage on Monday when Louise Arbour will be installed as Canada's 31st Governor General. Join Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton and Power and Politics host David Cochrane at 9 a.m. Eastern, June 8th. You can also watch anywhere you stream CBC News. Still ahead on the show, I hate to say it, but there's a new American tariff set to hit Canada. You can see the U.S. just on the other side of that bridge there. And it's just when it was looking like trade talks, maybe turning a corner. We'll fill you in on what the U.S. is planning. Plus, as schools wind down for the summer, teacher contract talks are picking up. Actually, you know what? We already told you all about that, but we've got more stories on the show just ahead, including your full forecast a bit later on. Stay with us. For the first time, the U.S. Coast Guard has devices called sail drones out on Lake Erie. They look a little odd, but the Coast Guard tells us they're around to help. Here's what we're learning.
The sail drones are out there and they have equipped on them radar, cameras, and they are self-autonomous. And so they are there to aid in search and rescue, possibly pollution case responses if there's like an oil spill or anything like that. But additionally, law enforcement, helping secure the border and protect and prevent cross-border criminality. So the program came online now in May of 2026, so it's brand new. We're furthering the Coast Guard's goals of improving our technology and better using our resources that we have been afforded in order to provide safety, security for all peoples. They are fairly visible. They are bright orange. You will be able to see them. We recommend for the public, if you're out there and you do spot them, stay about 100 yards away from them or 100 meters. They are very well within the U.S. And they are equipped with collision prevention, so they will self-navigate away from vessels. They also have 24-hour operators that are monitoring them live, so they are trained to avoid collision, but they can also be manually moved if need to. So the sail drones are awesome because they are powered by both solar and wind power. So they are self-sufficient and can stay out there for an indefinite amount of time. The drones themselves are not meant to surveil or anything like that. They're just out there for awareness. Think of them as like mobile cameras that kind of help us gain a better insight into what's going on live on scene.
The Trump administration is planning to hit a dozen countries, including Canada, with a new tariff. The U.S. Trade Representative is accusing the countries of not doing enough to enforce bans on forced labor in supply chains. Ashley Burke explains why and what this all means for Canada.
Is the new U.S. tariff a negotiating tactic? Despite Tuesday's trade talks in Washington, Canada is now on a list of countries Donald Trump plans to hit with new tariffs.
This is not a surprise. It's something that the U.S. has been planning for a few months.
In a new report, Trump's administration is accusing Canada and others of failure to enforce rules to keep out goods made with forced labor, and is proposing an additional 10% levy, but exempting CUSMA-compliant goods.
We support the overall objective, the U.S. action, I should say. And I would note that, in effect, how it's drafted for the vast majority of Canadian trade, it will not have an impact.
Carney now promising to introduce legislation soon to do more to address forced labor.
Canada has a very strong legislative regime against forced labor in supply chains. We don't want any element of forced labor coming in goods and services.
The Conservatives have long called on the government to act.
If you look at the number of shipments that have been stopped in Canada for forced labor versus the United States as an example, clearly the current laws are not working in the way that they should.
Trump's new proposed tariffs are expected to replace old levies the president can no longer use.
Really, this is the response to the strike down by the U.S. Supreme Court of some of the emergency tariffs that President Trump brought in before. They were illegal.
It's coming up as CUSMA is up for review on July 1st, and Trump is reviving his taunts about Canada becoming America's 51st state.
I've said that ever since I've been here. That's a great discussion for the president and the prime minister to have.
Trump's ambassador to Canada reposting Trump's latest comment about the sovereignty of Canada, aimed at the very country he's posted in.
I represent the President of the United States of America. My job is to promote America's views.
The minister handling this file, Dominic LeBlanc, says the U.S. gave Canada a letter of intent about the future of CUSMA. But he says it's up to the U.S. to announce what it says and how it plans to move forward with that trade deal. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Canada's federal government wants the CRTC to reconsider its recent decision to make streaming services like Netflix pay more to create Canadian content. In May, the regulatory agency tripled the amount streamers must contribute to CanCon from 5% to 15% of their Canadian revenue. The feds can't overturn the CRTC's decision, but they can direct the CRTC to review it. Coming up, we'll check in with Colette for a peek at your forecast. Is this picnic weather gonna last? Details next. For your full forecast rundown, meteorologist Colette Kennedy is here. Colette, all everyone seems to be talking about is how gorgeous it is outside. It's a real mood booster, eh?
Yes, it really is. You know, I do find it makes a difference, and right from the get-go, right as your day starts. And, you know, the other thing is that I've been getting asked over and over, how much longer? How much longer? Like everyone's like, when's it going to end? Well, you know what? We're not even into summer yet. Don't worry. But we're going to have a bit of a pattern change. We've still got a few days yet. I do want you to know, you know, we're still moving towards the beginning of summer, so our days are still getting longer in terms of our daylight hours. So sunrise tomorrow, 5:56. Sunset tomorrow, yes, it's after 9 o'clock, 9:04. So hours of daylight, we've got over 15, and we'll get to just over 15 hours and 15 minutes before we start going in the other direction, and they get shorter once again. So hey, we're still moving the way I want to be. Anyway, your current temperatures, I just want to show you some of the warmth that's been still in northern Ontario that's filtered down with the flow being from the north to northwest. Now, the winds did flip for a little bit this afternoon, but otherwise, it's warm air to the north of us, so even if it comes in, our temperature's mild. When it comes in off the lake, it dips those readings a little bit. We're sitting 26 degrees. I'm showing you the Humidex because there really isn't one. This air is very comfortable. These dew points are low, and so we get to enjoy the heat without the stickiness. It is going to start to get a little more humid, just a little bit the next couple of days, but high pressure is still the dominant feature to our weather patterns, so it's stable air that's in place. Now, the system that's been kind of stuck, or the whole atmospheric setup that's been stuck, is beginning to break apart and move our way. So as our ridge of high pressure starts to slide off and it's not as strong, we'll begin to get into a little more cloud cover. So we have some into tomorrow afternoon. I think I still put us at partly cloudy. It may eventually become more of a mix. And then Friday, increasing cloudiness again, mix of sun and cloud. This is 6 p.m. This timing could change, all right? But still, it's to the west of us. So it's Friday evening. So we still get most of Friday day. And we know we get tomorrow 14. It is going to be warmer, 31. And a UV index of 9. That's very high. So that does mean still, as we know, sunscreen, but also staying hydrated in here. And then here come the showers, and temperatures dip a touch into the weekend.
Appreciate this, Colette. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you all watching as well. That's our show for today. See you back here tomorrow. Lots more coverage on the go.